The Homeric tradition believes in gods and goddesses. Gods are human in character. Also believes some events in life are predetermined. It was a starting ground to other philosophies. Other philosophers challenged the gods and went against it. Thales. Believes water is the cause of all things. Says that humans can be gods too. We are born the way we are. Gods cannot give or take. You get to decide how you live, not how the gods want you to live. Thales affected modern world by his popular theorems which revolutionized math, and with his belief on water created all things, and it changed science.
Anaximander. He defined the primary substance as the unlimited or the boundless. All living things sprang from the original moisture of the earth, teaching that the origin of all things is the infinite. The earth was formed from air by a felting process. It began as a flat disk. He believed the earth floats on a cushion of air, and the sun and the moon float on streams of air. Anaximander influenced the thought about the science of the earth. If you cannot see it or prove it, it is only a thought or a hypothesis. He invented the idea of models and drew the first map of the world in Greece. He is said to have been the first to write a book of laws. Major contributions to the philosophical thought was his claim that the basic stuff of the universe was the apeiron, the infinite and the boundless.
Xenophanes. He was the first to openly criticize gods and goddesses. We created the gods to resemble us, and he questioned, did man create gods or did gods create man? He believed that there is only one God and he is nothing like humans in any way. The most of what happens on earth is a natural phenomenon, not a divine act. For example, rainbows. He believed that there is a creator and he's only in one place and doesn't move to earth and back. He is credited for the unity of God, and it's completely spiritual, so don't think of God as a man. It affected Western civilization by allowing us, in most religions, to think there is only one God, and that indeed there is a creator.
Heraclitus. Observation is still important in the search of knowledge, but reason allows the observer to go beyond the observational given. Logos is the arrangement of all matter, and all things are one. He created logos which we use in modern-day English.
Parmenides. He believed that all knowledge could be gained through the direct perception of the five human senses. The idea is that if something cannot be seen, touched, measured, etc., then it's not worth considering since it is something beyond our basic direct perception. He thought that the realm of a pure mind was the ultimate arbiter of reality, and that much of, if not everything that we perceive with our direct senses is basically an illusion or only a shadow of something other form or model that exists in the realm of a pure mind. He has two views of reality. In the way of truth, he explains how reality is one, change is impossible, and existence is timeless. In the way of opinion, he explains the world of appearances in which one is sensory facilities lead to conceptions which are false and deceitful. These ideas had a strong effect on Plato and then turned and influenced the whole of Western philosophy. It also influenced literature, which is a poem on nature called Cosmic Poem, and it influenced the development of science.
Democritus. He formulated what is thought to be the first atomic theory. He is known as the father of science. He claimed everything is made up of an atom. These atoms are physically, but not geometrically, indivisible. Between atoms lies empty space. Atoms are indestructible. They have always been and always will be. There are infinite number of atoms in different sizes and shapes. This affected Western thought by concluding that atoms make up all living things.
Xenos. Proof by contradiction, arguments against multiplicity and against motion. Space or time must be composed of ultimate indivisible units, or it must be divisible infinitum, if which can be divided. Infinite number of parts can add up to make a merely infinite sum. It affected Western thought by contributing to math and physics.
The allegory of the cave. The cave, in Plato's theory, represents people who believe that knowledge comes from what we see and hear in the world. Empirical evidence. The cave shows that believers of empirical knowledge are trapped in a cave of misunderstanding. The shadows represent the perception of those who believe empirical evidence ensures knowledge. If you believe what you see should be taken as truth, then you are merely seeing a shadow of the truth. In Plato's opinion, you are a pleb if you believe this, and this is seen as an insult. The game in this represents how people believe that one person can be a master when they have knowledge of the empirical world. Plato is demonstrating that this master does not actually know any truth and suggesting that it is ridiculous to admire someone like this. The escape prisoner represents the philosopher who seeks knowledge outside of the cave and outside of the senses. The sun represents philosophical truth and knowledge. His intellectual journey represents a philosopher's journey when finding truth and wisdom. And the return, the other prisoner's reaction to the escapee returning, represents that people are scared of knowing philosophical truths and do not trust philosophers. It affects the modern world by showing a nature of reality